Hello my 7 deadly sins family and friends, welcome back to another video. Today is our next episode of Cracked or Sacked, and we're showcasing Drake. Now, without further ado, let's see him with his full build that we have got ready. So we've got this fully built. He has 18.6k attack, he has nearly 46% crit chance, 167.5% crit damage, with 41% lightning attack, 18% lightning damage increase, and then for his skill modifiers, he's got a little bit in normal skill and a decent amount in ultimate. This is where most of his damage comes from, mainly his ultimate really from what I could tell. But we're obviously using the Great Sword. We've got Limit Break 1, level 50, ultimate move, lightning attack and damage. I think that's a pretty good enchant that you can get. Of course, crit chance, crit damage would be really nice, but like you can't really complain about this. This is really, really nice. As for his armor, we're using his engraved armor, which gives lightning attack, normal skill damage, and crit damage. We've rolled ultimate move damage on this. Two really kind of rubbish stats. We could try and roll it a bit better, but this is 111, lowest possible, and level 1. I just didn't think it was worth it. But if you don't know, the engravement decreases the special attack cooldown by 12%, and then whenever you use the special attack, increase lightning damage by 6%, while the hero has a cooldown reduction boost, and that goes up 3 times for a maximum of 18%. Now while this is important, let's look at his skills. So his passive, using the normal skill, grants the hero a 10% cooldown reduction boost. This stacks up to 3 times, so that's 30% cooldown reduction, which is really, really nice. The normal attack, just basic stuff, nothing special here, as well as the tag. Now the special attack. Whenever you use the special attack, each hit decreases the normal skill cooldown by 1 second or 3 seconds if the enemy has a lightning burst activated. So you can really reduce the normal skill cooldown. So that's why you want to get this as much as possible, and you get that cooldown from the engraved gear. The normal skill, this is a quite big one because it fires 3 times. It inflicts damage equal to 276% of attack. The hero gains King's Magic for 20 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. And this increases lightning attack by 10% and crit chance by 5%. So that is 30% attack and 50% crit chance. Now let's on to his ultimate. Inflicts 461% of attack. That's quite good. That's quite a big multiplier, but increases damage dealt by 30% for every 1 King's Magic stack. Stack go up to an extra 90% because this goes up to 3 times. But then the first strike decreases the normal skill cooldown by 50%. So you can kind of really rotate his skills quite quickly with Lightning Burst. We're obviously using the main supports with Daisy, Manny and Slater. Now the question is, should we use this Spring Robe for the crit chance and crit defense down, or should we use the Spirit of Exploration, which gives up to 15% lightning damage as well as 25% crit damage? So I can showcase both for you, and you can see the numbers. But for my testing, the Spring Robe actually is better. If you don't have Daisy, then you would slot in a different support like Hauser for the crit defense and crit down. You could also use Gil Thunder for bursting, and then also Dedrin potentially for the attack boost. So a little less options because you don't have Drake as a support, but still other options. So without further ado, let's jump into the battleground and we can show you the attack rotation. So here we are. We're doing a kind of a full burst rotation. So we're not going to get the lightning burst for him. We're just going to try and get as much damage as possible. We're going to switch into him. We're going to use our E, so you got big damage, and we're going to use his ult, not combo. And look at that, I think that did 2 million. I'll slow that down and we can double check. But look, his cooldowns are already up, and you could use them again. It's like really, really fast cooldown, so you can just rotate this over and over and over. So yeah, you start with E with him, you go to his Q for the cooldown reduction, you press R for a big nuke, and then you can attack him, and then look, his Q's going to come off, and then his E's going to come off. And yeah, it's pretty good. From what I can see, his ultimate is the main damage dealer, but the E isn't too bad either. So now that you saw that rotation, if you're going to combo ult, you can combo ult with Daisy, and what's nice about them two is both their ults are only 2 cost, so you only need 4 to do a combo ult. So if you had max ult gauge, you could combo ult with Drake out, You can do his rotation first, so you do the R, and then you do the E, and then you do the Q, and then by that time you're really close to being able to ult again, and then you ult to do a big nuke. So hopefully that was short and sweet. You kind of understood what you would do. If you didn't have Daisy, say you were to have Hauser, you would just do the same kind of like buffing rotation. Make sure if you do use Hauser, use a max blazing gauntlets with him, or Lance, depending on what one you want to use, but use that engraving. I'll show you just in a moment. So this is the engraving I was talking about. It's the secure adventure. You use the Nightmare set. It goes up to 60% crit defense down for 15 seconds when you land a special attack. It also has a chance to bleed. If you choose to use gloves, go to weapons. If you choose to use gloves, his special attack, it also has a chance to reduce crit resistance if they're bleeding. So because it's a 2-strike attack, you hit once and then again. If you bleed on the first hit, you can also reduce a bit of crit resistance, but it's very minimal, not very necessary. Make sure you have a max limit broke blazing weapon, because obviously he's going to do damage with that instead of just Slater, or you use Slater first and then use him last. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into Ferzen Mines and see how he gets on. So I'll see you over there.
Where the shadows grow teeth and the iron is weak, a rhythmic thud, a mechanical groan, something unholy has claimed the throne. Blacker than ink, avoiding the light, fusing with steel in the dead of the night. A giant mine caught, a carriage of bone, with glowing red eyes and a face of stone. The tracks begin to rattle, the darkness starts to bleed. It's an engine of malice, a monster of greed, but the mountain is shaking, the clouds start to spin. Make way for the monarch, the king of the kin. Drake, king of the dragon kin, raising the blade where the legends begin. With a great sword of silver and a heart of pure fire, he's climbing the peak of the funeral pyre. Lightning is screaming, the heavens collide, there's nowhere for shadows and demons to hide. Drake, strike from the sky where the thunder is born, let the abomination die.
And there we have it, guys. I did play quite poorly. I didn't use Guild Thunder to get the shortcut, but it definitely feels it may be better to use Guild Thunder instead of Slater, because without that lightning burst I was doing so little damage, I found. Anyway, let's jump back in. I'll cut until we get back again, and we'll switch Guild Thunder, and we'll also switch Daisy's outfit. So I'll see you there. Okay, we're here at the boss, guys, with about just under 3 minutes left. Hopefully this is the final time. I've been having real trouble with the game tonight. I'm not sure what's going on.
Surging, the ozone is thick, the pulse of the dragon is steady and quick. He leaps through the air like a bolt from the blue. I am the storm that is coming for you.
man, I had no idea what was going on there. That was crazy. But yeah, we did it. I've been trying to get this last run of the boss fight for you for over an hour. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm having some connectivity issues or something, but it was all over the place. I was lagging a bit. But like damage wise, I actually think this was less, and it was definitely less whenever the buff from Daisy ran out. So you really need to get her back in, do her turret plants, and then buff up. It seems like he really lacks damage without all the buffs. I think with the other Daisy outfit, it's a lot easier to get the damage boosting debuffs and buffs up in comparison. Also, this boss was so jumpy, but I think we did it about the same time. I can't quite remember now. It's been over an hour, as I said. But yeah, he can still clear it. It did pretty good. His nukes sometimes are really, really strong, and then sometimes it just doesn't happen. I'm not sure if it's because the enemy is blocking him and he doesn't have enough pierce. Maybe that's why. But I'm not sure. Let's get out of here. Let's have a quick discussion, and then we can say if he's cracked or sack, and then you can let me know as well. So yeah, let's have a quick look at his potential, because obviously this is about free to play as you can get. We can see how well he can do. He can obviously clear Abyss, Ferzen. It kind of looks like he's reliant on Daisy, to be honest, because without her buffs and stuff, it was so little. But with Potential 6, his normal skill goes up quite a lot, increasing the maximum number of the normal skills King's Magic by 2, and increases damage by 10% for every cooldown reduction, which is another boost in normal damage. Like, it's quite crazy. And then the last two is just more ultimate damage. So at first I was decently impressed, but then just sometimes out of nowhere he did so little damage, even when he was critting. How let me have a quick look. I'll waste more food. But like with his stats, with Daisy, why does he have so low crit chance? Oh, because I'm not on the other one. So yeah, he's got 50% crit chance and 160%, which is quite low. Maybe you could get a bit more crit chance. I think this is why Daisy's other one is just so good, because he's going to get some more crit chance. Yeah, look, it's nearly 60%. And you're going to do way more damage because of the crit defense down. Because Abyss bosses just have so much defense. So sad. Maybe with Hauser, even with the crit defense down, he'll do better. I think he's kind of on the edge for me. I'm not even sure if he should be cracked or sacked, because I was quite disappointed and so frustrated doing over an hour of runs. But I'm not sure if that's me being bad, him bad or not. So how about this time? How about I don't vote if he's saying, and let you know if he's cracked or sacked. Why don't you tell me? You decide. Is he cracked or is he sacked after you have seen this showcase? Let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe and give me a like. It's taken me so long to do this, and so much resources, just time it takes me. It would mean so much to me. And I'm going to bring out some more content for you guys very, very soon. Obviously, I'll have King and Escanor in the Sector 2. That'll be on Wednesday. I'll try and get that to you that day as well. And then maybe tomorrow or Tuesday I can do a couple of showcases with my free-to-play account, or Elaine versus Gallant. But until then, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this kind of informational and useful. And I hope to see you then. Bye.